It's time for Half Hour to Health. Sit back, relax, and find out how you can live a better life. Here's your host for Half Hour to Health, Dr. Stephanie.
With me this morning, Dr. Brooke from Crossroads Chiropractic in Bedford, and also Dr. Ron Daulton. Dr. Ron is a chiropractor for the past 25 years in Northwest Indiana, and he is also a second-generation chiropractor. His father was a chiropractor for 43 years, and Dr. Ron Daulton has published multiple books in natural health care, and he's most well known for the Get Your Life Back, The Ultimate Guide to Healing a Herniated Disc, which was first published back in 2007. But we are going to be talking about senior health today and some of your other books. Thanks for being on the show with us, Dr. Ron.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm actually really excited about this one.
I'm glad that you are back. So seniors, there are so many seniors in our practice at Crossroads Chiropractic that have come to chiropractic later in life and seen the benefits, but there's also some that are really near and dear to my heart, and they're the people that have been getting adjusted for decades and have enjoyed chiropractic care their whole lives.
No, I will say, this is probably my favorite group of people to work with. I love working with the seniors. And it's the same thing. I have patients who have been coming to me from the very beginning when I first started in practice. And that's a great feeling. But I think the reason I love working with seniors is because, as you get older, things start to change, and chiropractic really makes a huge difference for them, and they really appreciate it. It's a group of people that are really appreciative of anything that you can do to help them feel better as they start to get older.
Mm-hmm. I feel like they come with some realistic expectations as well. Not necessarily the miracle, but is there anything you can help me to do to keep up with my grandkids, to be able to enjoy activities and get around and maybe have less aches and pains? And it's so rewarding to be able to help them enjoy their lives and have a better quality of life.
Yeah, and I really think that that's what it comes down to, is for them it's all about function. They want to be able to keep moving and keep going, and anything that we can do to help with that is really something that I think they are really appreciative of. So, but that's the real key when you're working with seniors, is that you just got to keep them moving. That's the most important thing, I feel like. And chiropractic plays a huge role in that, because we're keeping the joints mobile, and they just feel so much better because of it.
So what are some of the books that you've published that are in particularly focused towards seniors that have been able to benefit from those?
Well, actually, I have two that I've published that are specifically for seniors. One is a balance book. It teaches them balance exercises. And the other one is a chair yoga book, which I think is really great. I will say the balance exercises one I feel like is so important. There was a report that was put out by the CDC about a year ago in October where they were talking about older adult fall prevention. And what the report had shown was that 1 in 4 older adults over the age of 65 will actually report falling each year. But the thing that shocked me the most about it, and the reason I think this topic is so important, is that what they reported at this commentary was that falls are actually the number one cause of injury and the number one cause of injury-related death in people over the age of 65. So you're actually more likely to die from having a fall than you are from having a car accident, which is scary.
Wow.
And this actually goes back to what we were talking about as far as movement, because the reason that that's so significant is that when you fall, of course, that's the biggest risk is that you could break your hip, and it stops you from moving. And your body needs to move in order to be healthy, and that's where it causes a lot of problems. So it's so important to build that skill of being able to maintain your balance and trying to prevent falls. But you know what else is interesting about the topic, and this is the reason I really wrote the book, was that there was another study that came out by the Mayo Clinic, and what they were looking at was, when do we start to see this change? And what they showed was that it actually starts to change when we're in our 30s. We start to lose balance in our 30s, and it progressively gets worse over the decades. So really, even though, for example, my book is geared towards senior citizens, people should really be doing some type of balance exercises with their normal exercise routine as early as in their 30s, because if you start early, you can really prevent a lot of problems that could develop later in life because of it.
That's so interesting. And our muscle mass also starts to decrease in our 30s as well. So I'm sure there's a lot of correlation in there. But other than, starting at a younger age, what are your tips and tricks for when you are reaching your 30s to increase your balance and coordination?
Well, the first thing is you want to exercise regularly. That's really important. Balance exercises are super simple. They're not difficult to do at all. And they only take minutes a day, so they're really easy. But another thing that I find is really important, because you had mentioned the loss of muscle and how that starts to develop as we age, nutrition. Nutrition is something that is so important with this. You really want to make sure that you're conscious of the amount of protein that you're getting. But also, I think that carbohydrates get a bad name all the time. Everybody thinks you got to cut out carbs because you're going to get fat. But the truth of the matter is that for proper muscle function, you need a certain amount of carbohydrates in your diet every day just to make sure that your muscles are able to replenish the sugars that they need in order to function properly. So a good, well-balanced diet is really important for this as well.
So you said carbs, and now I have to just delve into that conversation. What are your favorite good carbs? Give us some good examples.
You know what I eat every day is sweet potatoes. I love sweet potatoes. They're not only are they a great source of carbohydrates, they're complex carbohydrates, which is what you're looking for. You want to try to avoid the simple carbohydrates, which are the sugars, the breads, the pastas, all of that. But sweet potatoes are very high in nutrients as well, and they're a great source of carbohydrates. So that's a good option. You can also get, let's see, what are some other things? What are some things that you usually recommend for your patients on that?
So I have to say, I love sweet potatoes, and they're so versatile.
Yes, we eat a lot of sweet potatoes. I also love quinoa. Quinoa is super easy to batch and make and be able to have throughout the week. Yeah.
I'm a fan of parsnips.
I love parsnips. And you know what else, too? Really any type of a sweeter vegetable, like carrots is a great example, where you can get some carbohydrates from. I love squash. Different kinds of squashes are great sources of carbohydrates as well. So there's definitely a lot of different options, but what I would say is the key is try to go for something that's more natural, like fruits, vegetables, and that's sort of the source for your carbs rather than going for the processed ones.
Absolutely. It's so important that you look at your health in a well-rounded way. It's not, just about getting adjusted. It's not just about exercising, but you've got to fuel your body with whole foods, foods that still have nutrition in them. And you also have to take care of your mental health. So,
for sure.
It's more than any one thing. It's the culmination of all of the areas of your life and making sure that you're taking care of each area and spending some time and effort on the things that you might not enjoy as much. So if you love exercising but you like the junk food, maybe put some more effort into getting some whole foods with some nutrition. That's my speech for today.
Right, there you go. Well, and also, keep in mind, too, going back to chiropractic, that, when you live a healthy lifestyle, chiropractic really supports that, because when your nervous system is functioning at its best, you're going to digest that food better, your body's going to absorb it better, it's going to utilize it in the way that it's supposed to a lot better than it would otherwise. So chiropractic, I feel like, always goes hand in hand with a healthy lifestyle in general, and that's one of the reasons that we always recommend that our patients come in for some type of maintenance, because it's just going to keep your body functioning better. And all of those other things that you're doing to help yourself, such as your diet, your exercise habits, all of that is going to be compounded because your nervous system is functioning at its optimum.
Absolutely. And if you're well adjusted and your spine is functioning at its best, you're going to feel more motivated to go out and take that walk or to exercise or to invest in yourself with some healthier food and the meal prep that goes along with that. So I feel like motivation and feeling good and having that good attitude can come out of a chiropractic adjustment.
Yes, and they all go hand in hand. I constantly remind myself that an object in motion stays in motion.
Right? There you go.
So
that's true.
keeping with something with that momentum always helps fuel that motivation the next day and the next day. So, Dr. Ron, I've got to ask you, with talking about balance and coordination with seniors, something that's kind of like a hot topic right now is vibration plates. What's your take on them, and if you have an opinion on how they could help, prevent injuries or help increase balance and coordination?
I love vibration plates. In fact, we use them in the practice because we do a lot of physical therapy. And so I use it with any of our patients that we're doing physical therapy with. Number one, its main benefit is that it increases lymphatic flow in the system. And the lymphatic system is actually what cleanses your body. So it's important to get that fluid moving as much as possible because it helps your body clean itself out a lot easier. So that's number one. But number two, you had mentioned about balance. One of the things that's really good for it is that it stimulates mechanoreceptors in the joints, which are special types of nerve fibers that tell your body where its position is in space at one time. And that's one of the most important factors in helping your body be able to balance properly. So when you stimulate those mechanoreceptors, you're actually improving your balance just by standing on the plate. And there's all kinds of exercises you can do on those. But honestly, if you just stand there for 10 minutes a day and just vibrate, it makes a huge difference in your health overall, for sure.
That's a great hack for anyone of any age, the vibration plate.
Oh, I agree.
So tell the listeners where they can find your book. We were talking about balance when we come back in the second half. We'll be talking about chair yoga and that book. But give us a little info on how they can find your book.
I mean, you can find all my books on Amazon. If you just search my name, Dr. Ron Daulton Jr., everything should come up. Or you can go to my website, which is drdaulton.com, and it's spelled DRDAULTON.com. That's my clinic's website, but I've got a link at the top for all my books, so you can easily find it there as well.
Fantastic. We're going to take a break, but we will be right back here on Half Hour to Health on the Pulse Network.